Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB. Hey, somebody wants to get wet. Damn, Jason, I didn't know you like to get wet. This is my 31 days of horror movie reviews, and I couldn't believe that they decided to put this on Peacock. Because I would have seen this in the theater. But I just watched Five Nights at Freddy's. This is a 2023 film that was directed by Emma Tammy. And this is based on the popular video game of the same name. I'll be honest, I've never played the video game myself, but I have watched other people play it. I am very familiar with the game and what it's all about, what it entails. This movie, I'm of two minds of how I feel after watching this film. There's a part of me that kind of appreciated what they did as far as some of backstory to characters, as far as the story, as far as how they treated the property, right? And then there's a part of me that thinks, what the fuck? This is not the Five Nights at Freddy game that I maybe was hoping for or was expecting. Let's talk about the actors. Josh Hutcherson, who I feel like I have not seen since the last Hunger Games movies. I mean, I'm sure he has been around. I just can't think of the last time I've seen this guy. So it was cool to see him playing this character, this dude who he has a fucked up backstory. He feels severely guilty over when he was younger. His brother was abducted and he feels responsible. He feels guilty. It kind of destroyed his family and his life in some ways. And so you see him struggling with that, like severely struggling with that. There's a lot of this movie of him having dreams and nightmares about that day and desperately wanting to change what happened and whatnot. And I was like, what? This really isn't connected, at least at first. It seems like it's not connected to the Five Nights at Freddy's mythology and everything that should go on with it. You kind of feel like it's a different horror movie, that they sort of just put that script into what would be a Five Nights at Freddy film. I did appreciate that they gave him something to work with as far as understanding why he is the way he is, why he was desperate enough to take this job that he takes, and also his relationship with his younger sister Abby. That I kind of like their dynamic. It's a screwed up relationship for obvious reasons, but sure, I've seen a lot worse. Elizabeth Lale, I like her a lot. I've seen her in a bunch of horror things, but I most think of her from the TV show You on Netflix. She was in the first season, and for obvious reasons, I enjoyed her on that show. So seeing her here, at first I was like, okay, she's this smoking hot police officer who is just happening to hang around this Five Nights at Freddy's place, and she's interacting with Josh Hutcherson, and it just seems all very weird, right? Almost contrived. At least she's there to sort of be the exposition dump, the person who knows what's going on and is involved in a whole bunch of other ways. Matthew Lillard, I was very happy to see Matthew Lillard back in a horror type movie. It's been far too long, and I kind of liked some of the stuff that they did. I kind of wish I got more of it. Overall, though, the movie has a bunch of silly moments. You're going to have that when you're talking about killer puppets and their giant size. Like, it's clearly people in costumes, but they're supposed to be animatronics. They're supposed to be robots. And I get it. The game is very much that. You know, the game itself has a somewhat silly idea and premise, so you kind of have to go with it. I'm not saying that they should have tried to make it darker or scarier, although I think they did try. The movie is PG-13, so I think the non-R rating might throw people off, but to be honest, I don't think it needed an R rating. I don't think you needed blood and gore because the games don't have blood and gore. The problem, I think, with this movie and what some people, especially fans of the games, will have is that the movie deviates quickly from that premise of you being a security guard who has to spend all of those nights in this place dealing with the animatronics. And I think when you think logically of why would a security guard stay there for 5 nights and deal with this bullshit, sure. So you had to create all this other background stuff to give a reason why this character would continue to come back and why maybe he would deal with this. So I think that's why I was trying to go along with it. The movie maybe had a lot of filler for some of it, or maybe there was a portion in the middle where they tried to make you like the puppets, and I don't really know if that was necessary. It has creepy images, it has creepy moments, but it is silly. I'm not going to pretend like I was scared watching this movie. I'm not going to pretend like this movie did a whole lot for me, but I didn't hate it. I didn't. It's okay. Video game adaptations usually fail hard, so I think that's why I'm almost giving the movie a pass. I think that's why I'm saying that I got some enjoyment from this movie, more so than probably others will. I will admit, though, if you are looking for a much more fun Five Nights at Freddy's films, go see this Nicolas Cage movie that came out a few years ago called Willy's Wonderland. That movie is probably what this movie should have been. It's silly, it's over the top, it is R, and it's Nicolas Cage killing animatronic puppets. It's the exact same premise, but I would argue even more like the video game in so many ways. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too saw Five Nights at Freddy's. Did you like the movie more than I did, or did you hate the movie? I kind of understand both. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later! Taken over by a devilish path. You got me walking on broken glass. Kicking down the door with a Jason mask. With a deck dome machete, but you motherfuckers know it's heavy. Anytime you're ready, you can get you with a Bowie. Setting up to blow me, but the bitch don't know me. Who's going on?